answer that question.
Next call, we go to Los Angeles. Go ahead, please.
Yes, hello, Dr. Adler.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your interest in man and mankind.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, before Dr. Toynbee passed away, he had a discussion with Daisaku Ikeda of Japan, and they published their discussion in a book called The Toynbee-Ikeda Dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
Man Himself Must Choose. Are you familiar with that work?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Fascinating work. Dr. Adler, in the book, Daisaku Ikeda of the Nichiren Shoshu Sokugakai had discussed the concept of three proofs, which Nichiren Daishonin, a 12th century Buddhist monk, had discussed in many of his writings. Those three proofs were proofs which people could use to determine the validity of a religion. One proof, he said, was that every true religion must have a theoretical proof, an actual body of writings which could be dealt with over time. Another proof, the second proof, was a scientific proof that religion must adhere to the norms of science as they are discovered.
Right, I agree to the second point, certainly.
Okay. And the third proof they discussed was the importance for a religion to be actually proven in the lives of the people who practice the religion.
I don't think that's a proof.
Why is that, sir?
I don't think, there's no way of testing that. You can test the consistency of the religion, of the coherence of the religion with the existing state of scientific knowledge, but you can't test its practical usefulness.
Our guest is Mortimer Adler. He lives in Chicago. He is the chairman, of
the Board of
Editors and editor-in-chief of the great books
of the Western world, of the second edition. Bob Hutchins was the editor-in-chief of the first edition. I was his associate editor.
And the second, if you just joined us, the second edition is out now. How do you buy the Encyclopaedia Britannica? I know that's...
Well, you can either buy it over the counter in bookstores or in malls where Britannica has desks, or you can buy it from salesmen in your home.
And you said earlier it's $1,500 if you just want to buy the great book series alone.
About $1,500 for the least expensive binding.
What if somebody's sitting in the audience, they're past school age, they've had their college and all that stuff, and they're sitting there fairly mind-boggled by all these theories and all this stuff, and they say, how do I better educate myself?
Buy the great books and read them.
But what if I have not the ability to understand all that I'm reading?
They're written for the great thing about the great books are not written by specialists, by generalists, and they can be read by anyone at all.
You say in your book, this book here on reforming education, I believe, if I remember reading it, that you should buy books that you're reading up.
That's right. You always ought to read things over your head. You read things at your head's level, your head doesn't get any higher.
When you want to read something at this stage in your life, after 88 years, that's above you, what do you read?
I go back and read some more great books.
Next call, Huntington, West Virginia, for Dr. Mortimer Adler. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Doctor. Enjoy your program.
Thanks.
Doctor, I'd like to ask you, religion, and religion is supposed to teach a nation how we're supposed to live?
No.
Well, who are we supposed to follow in?
No. Religion is concerned beyond science and philosophy with either the supernatural, which is beyond nature, or with aspects of nature that are beyond scientific discovery, and is concerned, the ultimate point of religion is the salvation of souls. I mean, what do you get out of this life? How do you prepare yourself for something better than this life? All the religions of the world are concerned with that, somehow. Elevating you somehow above the secular, above the humdrum of everyday life.
Why are there so many wars fought over religion?
I don't know. Certainly, more damage has been done in this world in the name of religion than anything else. Just think of what's going on in the Near East now. The Holy War. Not utter nonsense, of course, but think of Northern Ireland. And, I mean, all the troubled spots in the world, are due to religion. As well as oil.
In your 88 years, where would you place this year and the problems we have compared to all the other things you've seen in your life?
Well, if it hadn't been for Saddam Hussein, suppose the Persian Gulf crisis hadn't happened, I would have said 1990 is a great year. There's more chance now of world peace than ever before. The Cold War has ended. Communism has ended. Totalitarianism has ended. We're on a new... leaving that Islamic nonsense out for a moment. If you could just imagine the world without Islam. Imagine it. With oil somehow available. The advances made in the last 2 years, I think due to Michael Gorbachev. I really think he should have won the Peace Prize.
So you agree with him getting
Oh,
it?
completely. The book I'm publishing in March is dedicated to Michael Gorbachev. It's a book called Haves Without Have-Nots. The subtitle is Essays for the 21st Century on Democracy and Socialism. And the reason why that's very important is because most Americans utterly confuse socialism and communism. So communism is the wrong method of achieving socialism. Communism is the wrong method of achieving socialism. Marx was a socialist before he was a communist. He was right in being a socialist and wrong in being a communist.
Montreal.
Clear?
Montreal.